Hi Rita, you are doing amazingly well, keeping on going, it's fantastic. Okay, so here we go. Many developing countries place a lot of importance on tourism. Why is this? And then do you think it's positive or negative? So two-part question. This is quite common, as you know. One paragraph for why, another paragraph for is it good or bad. So very important that we structure that essay correctly. Recently, numerous developing nations have considered improving the industry of tourism. Okay, this is largely because they want to boost their economy and provide their citizens with basic demands. In my opinion, I believe this trend has impacted positively on individuals' lives in terms of reducing unemployment rate. Okay, good. Recently, numerous developing nations, have considered improving. Now, if you say considered, it suggests they thought about it, but they haven't done it. So you could say have invested in invested in their tourism industry. In their tourism industry. I think I wouldn't have considered because they are doing it. So if you use this, have invested in their tourism industry, this is largely because they want to boost their economy. And I actually think you'd be better off just going in order to and making this a long sentence. Do you remember what we were saying about stretching your sentences? IELTS likes long, complex sentences. So just let's go for it at the beginning. So in order to boost their economy and provide their citizens with basic demands. Now, I'm not sure how tourism can provide the citizens with basic demands. It's this word, demands, I'm not sure of. Citizens with, I would go more, employment opportunities. Because here you're going to talk about unemployment. So you're not providing, and also the other problem there is that you can't provide somebody with a demand. You can meet their demands, but you can't provide their demands. So I would go boost their economy and improve provide their citizens with more employment opportunities, and stop there. In my opinion, I believe this trend has impacted positively. Good. Okay, that is lovely. Well done. Good intro. One significant reason why the sector of tourism sector in the developing world should be improved is that it can create job opportunities for local people. Now, should be improved. Yeah, why is this? You can either go should be, or you can go has been improved, or you can even go is being improved. They might be preferable. By using should, you're suggesting again that it isn't. Yeah, but it is happening. So I would go is being improved is that it can create job opportunities for local improvement. Creating jobs in local areas by opening new hotels, restaurants and bars would result. So again, I wouldn't go hypothetical. Is I'd go is increasing or is leading to an increase in. Do you see how we're reading the question slightly differently, you and me? You've read it in as a should we, and I'm reading it as in this is happening. They are doing it, and why? Okay, so I wouldn't worry about the shoulds at the moment and the woulds. I'd go more on the fact is leading to an increase in the number of employed individuals in the host country and therefore boosting the economy. Yeah, good. For example, in Beirut, you don't need that. Now, not in Beirut has seen, but Beirut has seen a substantial rise in the employment rate after the government adopted, it's past simple, really important there, it's finished, a scheme to develop the tourist sector. Right? So Beirut has seen a substantial, here that's right, has seen present perfect, because the rise might happen still. Here, after it adopted, now it adopted it, that was a moment, that moment's finished, so that's past simple. As a consequence, the lifestyle in this city has been improved dramatically. No, as soon as you got in the last few years, that's an indicator of the past simple. Watch out on this, Rita. This is so important. You've got 2 tense mistakes. That will take your grammar from a 7 to a 6. They are really brutal on that grammar, because at this level, you need to get that right. Has improved dramatically in the last few years. Citizens are living more healthily. You're comparing it. Yes, I mean, that's interesting. So the lifestyle, yeah, I mean, I would maybe say the unemployment rate, unemployment rates have decreased, because they may decrease more. So the unemployment rates have decreased. I'm not putting that in. Unemployment's decreased, and income. Unemployment rates and tourism numbers have risen. So I can use the present perfect here, because I'm not putting few years. I'm not putting a time on it. I'm just indicating unfinished time here. But I think unemployment decreasing and tourism numbers rising is more relevant than this. I don't really care if they're happy or not. That's not really connected to the tourism. So make sure your example is super tight and super connected to what you've just been talking about. You've been talking about employment. Make your example about employment or unemployment. So now you're going to tell me advantages, disadvantages. So here, although, let's get in these great linking words. Although the development of tourism may be considered as a key to improving, the economy of developing nations, this may in the long run be disadvantageous, since tourists may destroy local areas. Okay, lovely. That is a great sentence, but show the coherence, Rita, by showing these words. You know these linking words. You need to use them. You need to signal to me where you're going. I need a clear indicator here, a signpost, where this paragraph's going. This means crowded areas. This means crowded areas may become a place where crime can happen, such as pickpocketing. Additionally, many... I think rather than doing that, which doesn't feel very sophisticated, how about changing it round a bit? And how about saying many residents or many visitors have reported increased, or many locals, okay, it doesn't really matter, many visitors or locals have reported increased incidents of pickpocketing, or feeling unwelcome, due to inappropriate behavior or inappropriate behavior or misunderstanding of customs. So I think rather than this means, you don't need to go in this means, and additionally. So again, you've got, that's quite a short sentence. This is longer, but I think you can say it in a better way. So many visitors have reported increased incidents of pickpocketing or feeling unwelcome due to inappropriate behaviour or misunderstanding of local customs. So think how you could transform this. So you don't need this means. And here you can take out holidaymakers do not, and they try to enforce. We're trying to add in a more sophisticated grammar structure. So, for instance, in Egypt, people are quite reserved due to religious reasons, and some tourists do not respect locals' beliefs, and therefore create a problem which is resulted from antisocial behaviour. Okay, again, I think you could tidy that up. Why don't you rewrite me that sentence and see how you could tidy that up and make it a bit neater? Yeah, it's fine, but I can see how it's not super sophisticated. Yeah, so for instance, you could start with Egyptian tourism has been highlighted because something like that. Just rewrite that sentence and see what you can do with it. However, it should be acknowledged improving tourism industry in developing areas is significant, but I don't think you need that. So I'd rather you develop this, and you could bring that in. So although the development may be a key to improving it, and then you could put here, as well as understanding of local cultures, it would be more logical to put that here. So here you've got your although, then you've got the negatives. So here you don't want to go back to a positive after you've had the negative. It's just not logical. Get that bit into here. So go positive and then negative. Keep it all together. So in conclusion, flourishing in the economy and developing is considered the main reason for these nations to pay more attention. Good. Flourishing. Now you can't use that as a verb. You can have encouraging the economy to flourish. You could have it that way. You've already had boosting. You could have improving. You could have transforming. We obviously had developing. I'm trying to think if there's any more. And I think that's really the best way. It's considered the main reason for these nations to pay more attention to their tourism industry. In my opinion, I believe that increasing the employment opportunity in third world nations to tourism and that, I don't think you need that. Yeah, because you're not really asked for an opinion here. Do you positive or negative? You would have to say, is it positive? Sorry, you would have to say, is it positive or negative? Sorry, let's put that back. In my opinion. So don't say this then, but I want you to say if it's positive or negative. So remember, you positive or negative. That's what you're asked. So which one is it? So are you going to say, yes, it's a good thing, or no, it's not a good thing? Okay. All right, Rita. Okay. There's lots of really, really good stuff here, but there's still a few things, aren't there? What do you think? What do you think is the main problem? Because I can see things. I can see areas of grammar here. I can see here areas of, this is just the organisation of the paragraph. So I think that is partly just getting your ideas in the right order. Also, I really do think you can improve your sentence structure. Try and break up these sentences. Start them in a different way. So here I'm going into the passive. They have reported increased incidents. Check out that grammar thing I sent you and see if you can incorporate some of that grammar. I mean, make yourself do the next essay. Do a conditional. Do a participle clause. Make yourself work through that grammar. And it might be hard, but I really think that would be a useful exercise for you. So here we go. The task 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just going to pause and just have a look at this. Okay, Rita, this looks fantastic. So it's a complicated chart. I've just had to go through it myself and make sure I understand before I dare comment on it, because I know you're super confident on these. Well done, you have analysed that data absolutely superly. The bar chart displays data about the number of trips per capita as well as the cost. Okay, overall, very clear overall sentence. That's great. Trips by taxis were most expensive means among 4, while trips by bus were the cheapest. Good. There was an upward trend in the number of individuals who travelled by trains, whereas the opposite was sending taxi users. You don't need to have apostrophe S, just taxi users. The number of people who use buses as means of transport remained fairly constant throughout the period, at just under 20. This figure showed a significant rise for train users, increasing from just under 40 per capita to 70. You could have increasing, you could have almost doubling. I know it's not quite, but you could say that. Almost doubling from one to another. In contrast, the popularity now, because it's popularity and going down, I would go the preference for taxi rides. So I just slightly changed that in terms of popular because it's not so popular. From 100 to just below 10. Okay, decreased, yeah, halved. So think where you could show more vocab. The number of Uber trips. And now here I put while. Use these connecting words. So in contrast, while the number of Uber trips. That would be absolutely lovely to get that in there. It would be all one sentence, no full stop. So that is a linking word, contrasting. Turning to the cost of each trip. This, so you don't need to repeat the cost. You can say this increase for buses and trains from about 5 to approximately 7. Good. The price of taxis began under in 2004 from when it was reduced. Yeah. From when to that point in time it was reduced. It didn't reduce itself, remember, it was reduced. Someone else did it to just below. So you want a passive verb in there. Okay, very, very neat. Your clarity there is fantastic. Put this into your task 2. Put this clarity, put this neat writing into that task 2. I know you can do it. I kind of wonder if you need to be editing it more. Read it through really carefully, as if you were writing a book. Read it through. Make sure every sentence is super perfect, and then send it to me. And let's just see what difference that makes. Okay, well done, Rita.